Boom goes the dynamite. What's up, everybody? RC Pilots Lounge number 108 in the house. Let us know if you can hear us in here with some emojis. Would you please? It looks like we're not broadcasting at a super strong whatever kind of rate. So if we get kicked out, we'll try to come back. But I've actually never had warnings like this, so loud and clear. We'll do a roll call here in a minute. There we go.
What's up, guys?
There's Beginner Joe in the house with me today. We're flying tomorrow, but we'll talk about those things in a minute. It looks like 52 guys in here. Give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Last weekend show went off the rails so hard I completely deleted like most of the show. Good to see, man, look at all those emojis. RC next Tuesday in the house. RC next Tuesday, man, I got a BMX rip on my 8S Outcast. I mean, nothing to write home to mama about, but until RC Dude posted his video today, I was the first guy to ever air it out, which was kind of crazy. The video was absolutely awful. It was only 5 minutes because my hat cam didn't have most of it in the frame. Just posted the MiG-29 from Arrows RC with RC Geek Center Burner in it, like seriously 20 minutes ago. So check that out. Today's show is going to be a little different. Look at all you guys. I'm going to have you guys throw questions at me for Joe. We're going to talk to Joe about his experience, which is it shouldn't be long because he doesn't have none.
Not got much.
Shouldn't take long because he doesn't have any. And I have got to quit doing these 4 and 5 hour streams. So, also, video skipping a little, Dennis. Thanks, man. I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm telling you, I've got warnings that I've never had before. The EXB is awesome. I got one video of it, and I did take it to the BMX track, and that video, I got to cut it up. But I was able to air out the EXB even more than the Outcast at the BMX track. That place is sick. And the camera was actually in the frame. You know, I had the truck in the frame most of the time, so I'm looking forward to getting that one out. No sound. Seriously, Bruce? I think you're the only one, bro. Guys say it's buffering. That'll be what happens. I got a good one lined up, and we're going to get kicked out. So, some of you guys already know from Facebook, and some of you guys are members of the channel already. So, members of the channel, there's like perks that go with that. It's like Patreon, but it's different. It's via YouTube. And so I actually have been behind a little bit. And so tonight we're doing the members only for captains at 10:30. It's going down a Zoom session. Most of you have already got the invite. If you don't have Zoom like installed on your device or computer, maybe check that out and get it done so you can be, you know, in the Zoom with us. And that's going down at 10:30. That's the captains. Members only. You guys can still get in if you want to. Air Marshal's producing that with through his Zoom room, so to say. So you guys should have got the invite already if you're captain. Dude, RC next Tuesday, I love my EXB. I had the 6S one. I boxed it up. I got rid of it because the EXB is all I'm going to ever need from now on. And I want some money to buy that Felony. That car is sick. And I really never cared about street cars, but that thing looks pretty sweet. Yeah, the phone app looks good. So, guys, questions for Joe. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. He's been doing the sim in an experienced mode, right?
Correct.
Thanks,
guys.
Wrecker Roy says, Joe, you did great on your first flights. Isn't Ryan an awesome coach?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm lucky.
That worked out pretty good. Jeff, that's cool, man. I can't go 6 hours, man. I gotta get. I want to fly tomorrow. We're doing batteries. Dennis wants to know, where are you planning to go in RC? So, have you been shopping? Have you been looking around online? What's up?
That's a great question. I think I want to start off with something. I mean, I like the Habu. Great starter. I think I want to play a little bit with some of the prop planes as well. So looking forward to doing that a little bit.
I want to get him on the air tractor tomorrow. I'm going to probably bind it up for safe, just because. But as soon as Joe gets 3 takeoff and landings in experience mode on the Habu, I'm giving it to him.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And I think the props are going to be relatively easy, at least on the orientation angle. Because the Habu we proved that it can be a good first airplane, of course, with some instruction.
Absolutely.
But I think that's for the guy who just has no interest in prop planes. Like, if you know you want to fly jets, well, there's your jet trainer that can be your first one. But if you know you like prop planes, well, there's prop beginner planes with the progressive modes too. Hamilton's Hanger asked, did you pre-order the Habu, Joe?
I have not.
He doesn't need to.
I don't need to, yeah.
He gets this one. Let me ask you this. So you flew it on 3S and 4S.
Mm-hmm.
If you were on your own, would you have bought another 4S battery? Because it comes with the 3S. Would you bought a 4S battery for an upgrade on speed, or would you have just gotten another 3S pack?
I think I probably would have stuck with the 3S. It goes pretty quick as is, and I don't need it to go much faster with my experience level yet. So
yeah,
I'm fine with the 3S.
The 3S is cool, and for guys just getting into it, it does come with a charger that will handle a 3S, although it'll take a while. But you would have to also upgrade and level up on your charger if you were going 4S as well.
Absolutely.
Which lucky Joe, I've got all the stuff.
Yeah.
But when he gets it, he's going to get the 3S and the 4S battery. So Brian Scott in the house. Let's see. Jackson, we haven't done a roll call. Josh Weaver, Dragon Model, Brian Scott, Race 22, Warren, what's up? Gonna introduce him to Torque. Yeah, and we talked about it yesterday a little bit. George Watts. Joe, did you have any surface RC experience before you flew the Habu?
Nothing real serious. I haven't had a surface RC since I was a kid. I think I got my kids some just real cheap ones that are just garbage. But
yeah, that's easy to do.
Yeah, I haven't. No, I wouldn't say anything serious. No.
And there's a lot of questions, but this will be good. So, RC Next Tuesday, these are some blokes from the UK that have a great time on surface. They're a good time. Anybody who's into surface, having fun exploring that with me lately, check out RC Next Tuesday. Joe, how easy has it been to pick up flying?
With anything, it takes some time to get used to it. The Habu, you saw my first flight flying. That was without any simulation experience. And I had some coaching along the way. But that wasn't that difficult starting off, at least on easy mode. You saw my first crash when I tried to land. But after that, things have been okay. On the simulation, switching to expert mode, I'm glad I've been doing that on the simulator first. Because I've
the $400 button's easy to push.
Yes, the space bar reset is quite nice. But it's been good so far.
Test Pilot Tim, thanks. Yeah, man, they position this product for a beginner, and Joe found out about the channel and that I was flying planes and doing RCs a while ago, and we're neighbors. Our kids play together, and so expressed interest, and perfect.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, because I'm not going to hand someone with no experience some of my other stuff, but goodness sakes, here's this thing, brand new market, positioned for a person who's interested but has no experience, and then you can buddy box and stuff with this, the radio that comes with and those kinds of things, but after flying it, I was like, this thing is so docile. And I gave him a crash course. You guys saw, I took it off and landed it, explained some basics, and trusted the tech, trusted the product, and you guys saw the success. That first landing, nerves are high.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Heart's pounding.
Heart was pounding.
And we filmed it. Not everybody learns in front of a camera. So, like, big set of cojones over here. So he did everything right, but I think I caught him by surprise with the get back in the power. So that's why it kind of chunked in. And I think it's a great example of what happens if you just kind of watch it come in. So if you fly it in a little bit of power like he did on a second flight, and hold the nose off a little bit and bleed the speed, he greased it. The second flight, he greased it like you guys would. You know what I mean? So, good times. And you've been practicing in experience mode. You've hit the respawn button probably a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And you're flying fixed position on the simulator, so it can get away from you quick.
Exactly, yep.
But, George says, Joe, did Ryan get jealous when you nailed the second landing better than his? You guys know I didn't, man. I was like arms in the air. I was hooting and hollering. I was glad.
thrilled. Yeah.
You know what? When you got a student that nails it, that's you also nailing it. Plains archery, table tennis. What kind of hobbies are you into? I'm just kidding. How are you? Good to see you, Jackson. Aviation, Victor. Yeah, a little coaching can go a long way. And I said it in the video. It's like if you can't get one in real life, watch the videos. You know what I mean? Not just mine, but there are videos on how to work this out. Jeremy is my neighbor, man, who wants to learn how to fly airplanes and, like, knocked it out of the park. Yep. Jeff's been teaching buddies at his field how to fly. Jeff hangs out with Mr. Beast. I think he does his hair.
Does
You cut Mr. Beast's hair, Jeff? That'd be hilarious. Those guys are nuts. They're like on an island, or they were the other day. Brian says, Joe, you're living the newbie's dream. Welcome and enjoy the experience, which I'm sure you have so far. You are definitely one of us. Nice.
Absolutely, thank you.
So, yeah, you're looking at some prop planes, probably, a little bit.
Yep.
The tail dragger thing is a different experience. We'll figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exciting. So we're going to go out with that tomorrow. And the Habu, I fixed it up. I'm the one who messed up the Habu. And I'll put out the videos as soon as I can get them done. I had the worst hand launch of my life and completely broke the nose off.
At least it wasn't me.
At least it wasn't you. Yeah. I never have dropped frames like this. What is going on? Oh, that'd be great, Steve Muncie. Roach Coach in the house. Jeff's Custom, Alan Gentry, Bruce Beamer, Tail Draggers do rule. Anybody doing the air tractor on safe? Because, guys, I don't normally do safe on these things unless they come with it. Like some of the micros, they come with safe. Just, it's already assigned to a switch. But when we get the bigger planes, I never do it. Jimmy Haley, life must be good for you. Are getting fat.
Man, shots
the one who
fired.
got the Corsair with Marine and Navy decals. Okay, thanks.
I don't have a second job, just one. Takes most of my time, actually, but
Ha!
I get a little bit of time to fly some RC.
It probably does. P-51 fan. I've never bound anything safe. Yeah, me neither, but I'm thinking it might be not a bad idea to have it there for guys. So, like any good pusher, you give away the first couple hits, and then, you'll have them for life. Planes are, that's cool. I never thought I'd want one. What are you talking about, Dragon Model? I think that safe is pretty sweet. I mean, I'm tickled to death with AS3X and stuff. But, man, safe is nice. Because otherwise I wouldn't want to hand something to somebody. So we told him all the stuff we talk about. Skip Built, what's going on? All the things that we talked about is like, get you some stick time, but progress out of it as soon as you can. It's cool to have it if you freak out or you're coming in and let's say it's windy. But he knows that it takes all the stick you have to come around on those turns.
Yeah.
And I've said it before in videos, and he showed it. Because it's hard to tell because the camera and all is just on the plane, but we were behind us a few times. Brent Heilman, what's up? Dragon Model, hey man, I've been seeing your reviews on Motion RC for a while. Nice to see the stream. Oh, Dragon Model, yeah. Listen, I did reviews there for 5 years, and I've left about 2 years ago. So check this channel out. Not just the streams, because I've been very, very busy. What's Joe's next plane, says Hal Roofner.
It's a great question. I don't know. There's a lot of different options out there. My favorite fighter jet is an F-22, but I think that's probably getting ahead of myself, so probably hold off on that for a little while until I get better.
I got one.
You do have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing too. So, new to the hobby, figuring the brand thing out as well. So, yes, there's an F-22, but of course it doesn't have, you can get a receiver and program it and get safe in it if you want it, or like an AS3X or any other kind of gyro receiver in it. I got a gyro in mine just because I love to hold the nose up. P39 is awesome, Charlie. If I can fit it in the car with everything else that's going, I'll take the P39 tomorrow. That thing rips. I love it. There's stuff I don't have, Bravo, but not much. Grayson. Hello, my kid just bought a jumper from the store. What are you talking about, Wild Bill? That's right. Joe, I mean, he's the perfect name for like a regular guy, right? Regular guy, beginner Joe. I mean, I'm going to exploit him as much as I can for like a beginner series. We're going to all get to watch him fly and learn it. I think it was cool. I thought that was great. Great stuff. Horizon should really be happy also. It's just too cool. And Joe really pulled it off, because even if he pile drove it into the ground, it'd still be good stuff, but I'm the one who did that. Oh, nice. Michael Honeychuck, Storms. Yeah, I've got some drop frames detected 40% over last 2 minutes a minute ago, whatever that means. RC Roland in the house. What's up, Greg? Test pilot Tim. I only had to grab the radio from him once. I think it was in the first flight. I thought it was in the second flight, but it was in the first flight, and he might have been able to get it back, but it was starting to get far away, and panic sets in. Yeah. And it's like, I'm a bad coach if I don't just like grab it. So I grabbed it, got it heading back towards us, and handed it right back to him. Mm-hmm. And on 4S, I never had to take it. By then he had it. I love that video, and the comment section's crazy on that. And I'm excited to see him on a tail dragger and whatever else we can get him on. Yeah, Brian, I did. One of these days I'm going to do a balsa plane. I did fly a 25-pound truck, though, earlier this week, which was pretty sick. Prop plane may be the Turbo Timber. Yeah, we've got water close to our house, so I have the Twin Otter on floats sitting back there, which is pretty close to the house. One day I got to get that glider out, too. That'd be a great one for him. And it's got lights all over it, and I can film it or whatever if he'll go out with me at night. Bobby's going to free up time here in the middle of September. Lots going on over here. We're getting ready to, I'll still have a studio here, but there's going to be some other, there's a new location. I'll just say that. Pusher prop, or pusher. Air tractor. Yeah, I brought the air tractor from the, oh, dude, when you had Elmo on the X-Max, that was hilarious. We got the air tractor here in the studio because we're going to take it with us tomorrow. I want him to get some stick time on it. Nathaniel Pulling, what's going on? Yeah, glider. Should make a great trainer. I got the what is it? The Ultra Micro Turbo Timber. So that's an easy one too. Almost too easy. Let's see. Raven Rock in the house. X-Max. I'm going to take my X-Max out with the 8S Outcast next week. Zach Garcia, what is up? Shout out from the only RC pilot in Taos, New Mexico. Grayson's RC wants to know what Joe's next move is.
I mean, I got to be able to start to fly in experience mode, right? That's kind of that's my goal.
Yep.
Once I can do that, then I can start branching out different aircraft.
I think he'll get it. I'm actually really excited to see, because he's, as soon as like the next day or whatever, maybe a day or two after that, I hooked him up with the simulator that it came with, and you've been rocking it since then.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I have about 5 hours of flight time.
Dude's got 5 hours, man. He's about ready to solo.
I know let my kids fly a little bit. Yeah, it was mostly me.
That's cool. Charging up. Charging up, man. And if you can see questions, answer them.
Yeah, I can't see.
A lot of times these guys just talk to themselves.
Yeah.
Nolan, you just crashed your F-15. Which one, dude? You guys see, I hope you guys watch the videos, because, I mean, live stream's cool, but the videos is what's up. I put out a Freewing F-18 video. Bobby K in the house. What's up, dude? We're going out tomorrow with Beginner Joe.
Yep.
We got some stuff to get in front of the camera, don't we, bub? Bobby K in the house. Emoji it up, dudes. Let's see, what was I going to see? Yeah, watch the videos, dudes. BD Tennessee, that's a good question. Hold on a minute. So, I'm trying to see what videos we did this week, because you guys should watch them. Jeremy Sean, are you in the room still? I saw you. 110 in the house. Thumbs it up, dudes. Yeah, so we did the Bigfoot. We did Joe's flights. We did the F-18. Arma Outcast 8S. And then the Arrows MiG-29 with the RC Geek center burner went up right before the show. Lots more to come. Lots more to make. Shut up. Shutting up. So yeah, what charger is that? Man, I've got all the smart chargers, dude. I got the S1100, S1500, S1200. So the 1200 and the 1500 work off that power supply, and then the S1100 just plugs into the wall. I like them. I like him. So, I pumped the brakes here in the chat. BD Tennessee. Let's talk beginner question. When you trim for level flight on a high wing or low wing trainer, what percentage of throttle do you trim for? What they say in the book, when you're talking E-flite products, which are usually the best kind of beginner planes, if you ask me, they say half throttle, right? So level flight, half throttle, a little bit more than half throttle. You should be at level flight. So what you can expect to see is if you're full throttle Johnny, you're going to climb, which is good.
Yep.
Because your altitude is safety.
Yep.
You know, you're getting up and away. It's safe. Brian Scott, thanks. And so, likewise, if you're less than half throttle, you're not going to quite get there. So, that's what I would say. Trim for... It depends what you want to do, too, though. Like, and that's kind of the beginner plane deal. A lot of planes... Once you've been flying for a minute, it's really not a problem to have a little bit of pressure on the stick. It's not uncommon to have a little bit of up, maybe sometimes, especially if you're slow flight. You can expect to have a little bit of back pressure going on. But like, if I'm cutting loose on, let's say, the P-39, if I'm ripping it, I'm probably not holding. It's trimmed for ripping it. And as I slow it down, you know, full throttle, I've got it trimmed out. So as I slow it down, I fully expect to be holding a little bit of, you know, back pressure on the elevator.
Absolutely.
So it makes sense. And that's what would happen in, you know, a real one. So you just have to trim it for what you want. But beginner planes, the idea is that you're not going to be full throttle. You'll be cruising kind of half-ish. And make it easy on yourself and trim it to that. And there's a lot that adds up to why a thing will climb sometimes. I mean, just everything. Thrust line, incidence, CG, all these things. But for the most part, it's pretty easy. RC Stinger... Will Joe progress away from the DXE transmitter, and what type of radio you recommend him to get? Great flight on the Habu, Joe, and great mentoring, Pilot Ryan. Hit that thumbs up, says Dave's RC. What's up, Dave? Yeah, I mean, we'll cross that bridge. I mean, I would say, at least a DX6. You know what I mean? But if you're going to be, if you think you're going to move up past that, you might as well go for an 8 or a 9. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you want to like go get into it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But there's IX-12s, there's IX-20s, but I think the best, good all around, going to go with you and grow with you for a long time. This is a lot more substantial than that one you've been using.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's the DX9. And I was, honestly, I would have been fine with the DX8 for probably ever.
Oh, no.
Except that for a minute I thought I was going to do an F-14. And so I wanted the 9 so I could do like the crazy mixing and stuff like that. I didn't get to it. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I got a 9 and I'm good. The Air Tractor's a nice looking bird, isn't it? I think I only flew it on 4S. So we'll have it out and probably try 3S for Joe. It just depends on the weight. I like the 3200 in it. So that's what I did. Ryan O, what is this? I was in this conversation with somebody about wingtips, and I wanted it to be civil, but every time the other guy thought I said something wrong, he would just say I'm stupid and jackass stuff. It's funny that he would call you stupid and misspell the word stupid. You want coffee or something, man?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're good? I got beer for the after party.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah, I think Joe will get the Air Tractor. We talked a lot about flare. So this is interesting, some of my favorite discussions. So our kids have a theater night on Fridays, basically.
Yep.
And guys, if there's something that you ask me or Joe and I don't see it Bear in mind, there's 120 of you in here, and if you really want me to get it to him or speak on it, emoji it up for me. Brian Scott says he just bought a DX9 through PilotRyanMedia.com. That's the hopeful assumption there from me, but
Yeah.
Cool, Brian. It's a great radio. But we were talking after the theater about what was going on with the simulator.
Absolutely.
Because he's flying on experience mode, as he should be, And basically you alluded to the fact that it was porpoising? Like
Yeah, it
you
was
were coming
porpoising.
up before you ever even hit the ground. Like you would
Yeah.
try to flare, and it was just really gaining a lot of altitude.
Coming in too hot.
Explain what it was looking like.
Yeah, so I was, first off, the simulator is hard for depth perception. So I would say that was the biggest struggle with that, is knowing where the plane is actually compared to the landing strip. But I would come in and, right when I get close to land, I try to flare just like Ryan taught me, and I'd go up and down and up and down, and then I would just end up kicking the power back on and flying around again, trying to land it again. Or I would just bounce as I landed.
Yes. So after we spoke, I'm curious, and we'll get into the meat of this. But after we spoke and you went back to it, were you able to get it better?
Oh, I landed beautifully right before I came over here. Yeah.
So, and we'll tell you why. So I love this, man. So the reason why in beginner mode the landings are sick, partly because I just know to not chunk it in, and I coached them on the flare, and I flared it also. But
Tech.
in beginner mode, the tech in it puts the nose up a little bit, which is slowing it down. So if Bobby's coming in, GB, you're hilarious. Yeah, Bobby K looks way different without a hat, right? If you're coming in nose down, you've got too much speed. So when he tries to flare, instead of flaring, he's got so much speed because it was a nose down kind of approach that he's gaining altitude, or skipping it off the ground because it's still at flight speed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool to have that conversation and talk to him about, all right, put that nose up a little bit, and even push through with the throttle and maintain that descent angle and all those things that are kind of, I think, what make it super awesome. And once you figure it out, you can fly anything, which, I mean, look, man, I'm not the best pilot ever, but I usually can land. I usually land them. So anyway, that was cool. And I'm anxious to see that work out, because that's the one thing you don't get in experience mode, is that nose up unless you do it yourself. He's not going to need the landing assist sensor module. I want to try it just because I want to try it, because it's supposed to do throttle and flare for someone. But apparently it's not that big of a deal, or it would have been stock equipment, you know what I mean? But of course, that would add to the price. So already $400, maybe that's why. But so yeah, so after that you were working it out, like less bouncing,
Exactly.
no porpoising.
Coming in with less speed.
Nice.
Coming in with the nose up helps a lot. So.
Yeah, I was like, because I actually nailed the F-18 landing that day. We did all that stuff that same day. I was like, watch that F-18 landing. Watch it come in with the nose up. And, look, they're not real planes, so you do what it takes. Like a lot of times where I'm chopping the throttle halfway through the base leg, establish the glide I want in the angle, and then if you don't pour the throttle back in, that angle will steepen, your speed increases, all of a sudden, we've talked about this before, you're wallowing around in what I call the groove, or the glove. Like when it settles in really nice, and it's a constant speed, it's all about managing your airspeed, nice descent angle, manage your airspeed, everything looks good, your control surfaces are all working because the airflow is not getting broke up, you're not slamming the plane around, it's got an isotoner on, Dan Marino is still playing football. But when you start slamming it around and waffle on the approach, it doesn't settle in as good, and it's like wearing a big trash bag. Settles in, right, Josh? I got guys asking me, what do you mean by settle in? That's what I mean.
I think Eddie K's RC asked, thumbs or pinch?
Oh,
I fly with my thumbs. Yes,
do you?
All thumbs, yep.
I don't even know what I do. Joe, I may have missed it. This your first time in RC?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's being funny, but maybe not.
Thanks, pay it forward.
GB loves the Isotona reference. Yep, Randy, flare, bleed, speed off. Yep. I missed something, but we're talking about midgets. Let's see. Eddie K says, get Joe used to right hand and left hand traffic. Yeah, absolutely. You know, the orientation, right? One of the first things I told him was like, listen, you're always in it. You're always in the cockpit. Left is left, always. But just know that when it's coming at you, it will visually indicate right. But if you're in it, in your head, it's still always a left, and it is always a left. And a good way not to get screwed up on that is to keep it in front of you, not over your head and behind you and things like that. Dollar Bill Clinton in the house, if he doesn't say so himself. What's up, DBC? Every time he comes, he says in the house. And every time I say, if he doesn't say so himself, I don't know. I think I'm funny, I guess. Let's see.
Send you here.
Hamilton's Hanger says, what an amazing neighbor to have.
Absolutely.
That's nice. John Noontz, what's up, dude? Rick and Roy, you're ready to be a star. You're next on the big show, dog. All you guys with producers, like, man, even Dave's RC has got some game now on the streams because of Shadow Ops. I don't even know what that stuff means, dropped frames. Hey, all you guys who are captains, did you download Zoom? Are you ready for 10:30? Let me know with a round of emojis. I started flying gliders at first, and it did a lot of porpoises. I can see that, Alan. Those things just never, ever want to come down. Yeah, GB. I wish my wife's too busy. I would love to put her to work. I even told Joe to watch our old cringy flight lessons. You guys all got the Zoom dialed in? Awesome. Tim Vanesson. So, Ryan, I nosed my Piper Cherokee into a Juniper, broke a blade and bent the shaft, putting something, I don't know, safe so I could grab it. Can I straighten the prop shaft or should I just get a new one? They're aluminum. It's going to be really fatigued if you straighten it. I would just get a new one for as cheap as they are. Tim Vanesson, good to see you. I recognize your name from a lot of the surface streams and shows. Good to see you. I hope you're checking out my RC truck playlist a little bit. It keeps getting better on the trucks for me. Man, the 8S Outcast is beast. Your Conshindo Advanced needs spoiler-ons, otherwise I have to set up my approach in the next state over. I can imagine that, so it's heavier now, right? Look at this one flying. Yeah, buy a new one, Tim. That's what everyone says. I agree, Brent Heilman. LJ Hobby Life in the house. Great time to get into the hobby with all the new tech. When I was learning, my father had to grab the radio when I got into trouble. Yep. Quinny Perks, what's going on? I saw you, I think it was on the Granite video. Good to see you. Good to see you. I got you, Dave. You said a lot of fancy words, but you don't know what it means either, do you? I know you don't. I don't either. David, yourself, we didn't miss nothing. Just hanging out with Beginner Joe, talking about his experiences, getting ready to get some stick time on the air tractor. I've been wanting to get the air tractor back out anyway, and like Joe's the perfect reason to. And so you notice that we're not putting them on the E-Flite P51. You know what I mean? Freeze frame. Oh no. Well, at 10:30 we're going Zoom sesh with the captain's quarters, Pilot Ryan style. Dave, RC Air Marshal, is producing that one. Joe Pellegrino in the house, Test Pilot Tim. I'm sorry if we lost you. I will come back. If we lose it soon, I'll try to come back. Links in the description, all the stuff, as always. Starting to get worse. That's wonderful. I really never see this. Dana's RC, what's going on? I don't predict Joe doing a YouTube channel. Are you, Joe?
I don't think I have time for that. No.
I mean, if you want one that sucks, and it's easy to have one that sucks.
Yep.
It really does take a lot of time to do it right, I think. But I mean, if you want to have one, do it. Finding a good place to fly that's not an hour away is the hard part. It can be, Boss 223. Honeychuck's back in the house. Kent, how are you? There's a lot of you guys I maybe don't even recognize your name, but glad to see you. Remember, subscribe and all that good stuff. Boogeyman Brown won my race tonight, going flying tomorrow. Don't get much better than that. I know that's right. Watch out for the landing gear on the air tractor. I had somebody comment about the Ultimate, talking about how the landing gear go into foam. And it's not $29 a month to be a captain. I think it's $20, isn't it? $19.99 or so. You don't have to do it. It's cool. There's guys that do. Man, I was the only gig in town for a while. So anyway, it's like Patreon but better. So it's like a once a month thing, and I've missed a month, so we're catching up. And it's a perfect time to do it because I really go too long on Saturdays usually. But you got a big field in your backyard, Roach Coach. And Jeff and GB, you're welcome, just like everybody else. GB's got a wrench, maybe he can sell it. Those things are $50 gold. GB's got a wrench, but I don't. That's cool though. Let's not even begin the wrench deal. Freeze frame, yeah, I remember. What, the Jay Giles band? Brad wants to know if you have a YouTube account.
I do, but I made it a long time ago. I don't know what my name is, to be honest. I did comment on the video that we made, so if you find my comment, you'll find my YouTube channel.
That's right.
So
he posts a lot of videos of
I had
nothing at all.
No, I had to make I had to do it first when I was in undergrad.
Really?
Yeah, I had to make it was dumb. Don't watch those videos. They're not worth watching.
Oh, you know they're gonna. You know they're gonna. Portland, Oregon. Fly mostly at my sister's in McMinnville. There's an airfield, says Tim. Nice. Been flying the Viper this week. This is my first EDF. I've noticed that this jet feels airy. Doesn't grip the sky as compared to a plane with a prop. Is this common to all EDFs? I don't know. Are you tail heavy a little bit on the CG? Because that's kind of what it sounds like to me. Like when a plane is like really balanced perfectly, or back on the CG a little bit, that it might be wallow around a little bit. George, you got for the Zoom? Cool. Did you get the email invitation from Air Marshal? That's where all these invitations should be coming from, Air Marshal, you guys. Riff Raffs RC. Hey, Ryan and Joe. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I lost it, dude. Did you delete your own comment, Broseph? I was getting ready to read riffraffs. When starting out, what do you tell new pilots about using expo and or dual rates? I don't confuse them with any discussion on expo or dual rates, really.
No, not.
Now, on the Habu, it by default has a high and a low rate. I showed it to them, explained what it does, but we just didn't waffle. We just kept it in low rate like the whole time. By the way, after a little coaching does go a long way, and if you don't have a coach, you can coach yourself. You guys have all seen me fly in crosswind where I'll say out loud to myself and you guys, okay, the wind's coming from the left, so I need a little, what's it going to be, right rudder correction, left aileron down. I think it through before I take the thing up, so I'm not surprised by what I need on the ground to get off and stay straight, and when I'm coming into land to straighten the wheels out. Well, with Joe, after that first landing that was kind of rough, it torqued the nose wheel a little bit, and so it was veering off to the right. I think it was the right, pretty good. And I was taxiing him out and putting him in position for him. And so I told him, I was like, hey, you're going to probably need a little bit of left.
Left. It was left. Yeah.
And
Did it.
he watched it. He did it. He did it. So thinking these things ahead, you don't need someone to tell you. You can tell yourself, but just be kind of like pay attention, be aware of these things, set yourself up so you know what to expect. So to answer the question, I don't bother a new guy with expo and rates. At least I didn't bother Joe with it. You know what I mean? And man, the E-flite planes are so dialed in. Most of them don't call for any expo, or it's very minimal. You've got AS3X. It's already kind of dialed in. The one thing that no one ever mentions, though, is like if you're in beginner mode or intermediate mode and you take off and everything's cool, and you go to experienced mode, all of a sudden the training wheels are off and you can roll it over. It's fully aerobatic. But the one thing I'm not sure gets enough press is that if it's out of trim,
You start to notice.
you're gonna know. That's when you notice. You're not gonna notice in beginner and intermediate modes because it's taking care of that for you. But first thing you need to be ready to do in experience mode is check it out. Like be high enough that if you relax the sticks, you can see what it's doing and trim that out. And if you don't feel like you can trim it out, flip back into beginner. You know what I mean? So I was looking at the, okay, I just missed a bunch of stuff. Riff Raff, what's going on? Hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday evening. Jason, are you up in here? Jason, this is Joe.
What's up, Jason? Good to meet you.
Jason wants me to teach him how to fly. You just got to put me on payrolls, all. Let's do it. Hey, Riff Raff. Thanks for the super chat. I just saw that. I'm backing up on the comments here. Appreciate it, Riff Raff. Riff Raff, another one of my Surface peeps hanging out in here. Riff Raff, you saw my 8S Outcast? I was so sick that I lost so much of that video being out of frame. When I stand behind the shop with it on my head, I do pretty good, but at the BMX track, I'm up on a hill. Like, so much of it was out of frame. I almost didn't put out anything, but I think it's a decent 5 minutes. All right. So, thank you, Riff Raff. Jason's up in here. Jason Merkel is with Horizon. He says, hello, Joe.
What's up?
Guys, Jason, I told you I was pumped about this video. Joe never flew before until the Habu. And he's been rocking the simulator. We're going to recap for those just arriving and for Jason. He's been rocking the sim.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Experience mode. Learning about flaring and things like that. We just, I set him loose with the simulator, and then we spoke a couple days after, and he was telling me what was going on. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He was porpoising a little bit and bouncing, skipping it. All right, cool. Let's learn the nose up kind of push. And so he's been sticking it. So I told him 3 takeoff and landings in experience mode, and the Habu is his to keep. And it's all beat up already, so you shouldn't feel too bad. I fixed it. And I put the wheels back on. Yeah. And the irony is that I'm the one who messed it up. I think that's what's funny. I only crash beginner planes. I swear that's the truth. It's been that way forever.
Only when hand launching.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst hand launch of my life. I can't wait for y'all to see it because it was really bad. Yeah, Riff Raff, the Habu is awesome, and a guy with no chops can work it out if he's got a little bit of, knowledge, a little bit of help. I'm on my second Spectrum hat. I wore my other one out, and I had to get a nice one. The Havoc, says Joe. Now, that's a different story. The Havoc. Brent, it does. I mean, it's kind of a one. You know how many sport jets really share a lot of the same pedigree? Like, look at the Avanti and the Viper from HSD. These things might as well be the same jet. And then the Havocs are, there's a line of those. They're many different sizes. Same with the like Scorpions and things like that. That's right, Jason. It is a fair deal. That is a fair deal. We're going to put them up on the Air Tractor and some other things tomorrow is the plan. Brian says put Joe up on the Bigfoot. Yeah, I think he could probably do the Bigfoot. I have nothing in there in the way of tech that'll do it for us. So I'm kind of going to... dude, safe is a heck of a tool.
Absolutely.
I don't have to take the radio from the guy. I can just flip it to beginner if it's getting squirrely. And listen, everybody talks about the crutches of it and things like that. Well, you got to do what's right for you. Yeah, get off a beginner as soon as you can. But if it keeps you in the air, do it. I think there's a lot of guys that have learned how to program this stuff and are flying advanced things that might be more advanced than their skill level, but they're working it out. So what? Ryan, how about the pancake you did on your MiG video? Which MiG, dude? Which MiG are you talking about, Lionel? Aha, Jason. That makes sense. TNRC wonders how good the Habu would be with a standard receiver. Well, it's super light on the wing loading, and it's a proven, airframe as a sport jet that's been optimized for like easygoing flight. So we flew it, me and Bobby, in experience mode with the wheels off, just ripping it around. A little bit more like what the plug and play experience would be like. Of course, it still had AS3X, but I think if somebody's got some skill and knows how to set up a plane, you could make that thing fly fine. Dana's RC says, Joe, I was very proud of both you and Ryan. You guys did great. I was very impressed. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah, thank you.
Safe, not select, can't be turned off mid-flight. Yeah, it can. If you got the progressive modes, right? Is that a question? I mean, we 100% can turn it off. In the experience mode, you can full, no bank limiting, upside down, do whatever you want. Lionel Randall, your new MiG-29 posted today. Yeah, the Arrows RC MiG with the RC Geek Afterburner. I put up about 20 minutes before the show. I stayed home to wrap up some loose ends. and it was very, very hard to get anything done today. I straightened up down here because I knew I was having Joe. This place is a mess. And I got rid of some things. My buddy Mike Kennedy, I got that new Creighton EXB. So my 6S, my first one is gone now. And that Spitfire, I finally got boxed up and ready to go. So, compare the Habu to Arrows Marlin. Okay. I made videos on them, so watch those. And then the one thing that's cool about the Habu is that it takes 3S and 4S, but the Arrows Marlin is a 4S jet that's super, super, super cheap. Inexpensive, right? Not cheap, but inexpensive. So it depends what you have already, though, because how cheap is it if you still have to source the radio and the batteries and things like that? Safe select equals on or off. Off equals AS3X. Safe equals beginner. Intermediate experienced equals AS3X. Exactly. We were able to, that's why they call them progressive modes, because you can progress through them. Ethan in the house. Mike Keller, what is up, dude? Hope you're hanging in there. You got your Zoom. Yeah, you're dialed in with Zoom, so you'll be good for later. In half an hour, captain's quarters, y'all. What's up, everyone? Just got home for a crazy long day of flying. Flew the Habu today. Amazing model, says Mary Boozer. Mike Keller, this person is on first base. They won't be able to turn off AS3X. Yeah, I mean, why? I mean, AS3X is awesome. How many of you guys with experience are like loving AS3X? Some guys aren't. I mean, like I was saying, there's guys who should be off of safe that are still using it. So, I love AS3X. I actually need to watch RC Air Marshal's tutorial so I can learn how to do my own programming, because I love it in my bind and flies, but I never buy one to do my own programming. So I need to, though. Figure it out. Keller loves AS3X. Do the calligraphic decal stick on plastic? Yeah. Hello, Ryan. Michael Sherman. So, Boozers, myself, and Air Marshal have a 3-day collab that you guys are going to have to endure next week. That'll be a good time. It actually was supposed to be this weekend, but it worked out. The Martini goes to JM. Good clarity from the flight boss. The only reason not to have AS3X in a plane is in a plane that doesn't have a file available. If Joe can fly an EDF already, throw homie on a Freewing F-14. All right, who's paying for it? GB loves the Spectrum stuff, AS3X. Honestly, everybody's stickers don't always stick. I've had everybody's stickers come off. I apologize in advance. Michael Sherman, this is Joe. Joe was the fella that I put on video to learn how to fly in front of the camera for you all and prove that the Habu actually can be, as positioned, a good first aircraft, period. Not just a jet trainer. So that's Joe. We're gonna get Joe's. That's Joe. We're getting more stick time for Joe. Probably some air tractor. And Michael Sherman, as soon as he does 3 takeoff and landings in experience mode on the Habu, it's his. So that's what's going on with that. Let's try to stay on topic, Wesley. I'm just teasing. It's a little difficult to program your own AS3X. Still got good results. Yeah, I just love them when they just are ready to go already. I love that. Guys, people are putting Spectrum AR636s in everything they can. They're in airliners, they're in all kinds of stuff. Paul Williams, you say the Tiger Cat handles better with the heavier batteries than the 5000. My first flight soon with mine with a 5000 milliamp. What should I expect and watch for? You're flying with a 5000 and I say I like heavier packs. Well, expect it to waffle a little bit around in the pitch and be a little bit more responsive. You know, if it's your first flight, I'd go with the 5000 like all the way up in the front as much as possible. Make sure your CG is right on. And, you know, for me, I always like to lean on the forward side for maiden flights because that's just how I roll. And I bring a lot of planes home in one piece that way. Yeah, GB, it's just ready. I mean, I've never had a receiver equipped bind and fly need anything other than bound up. I mean, they're just ready to go. Pellegrino Victor, let's see. Are you sure you were in Boozer? Because that sounds like something that it would do in intermediate mode. Something I found crazy on the Habu is how in experience mode, after you get within 100 feet of the ground, the plane will save itself. It's crazy how that worked. That should be intermediate mode.
Yeah, that's intermediate.
That should be intermediate. Experience mode will let you do everything wrong that you would like. Yeah, I saw some of Air Meet today. That was totally cool. That was a well put together live experience. Sandros 54 has a question for people other than myself. So I can do safe with the AR636, but only safe select with the AR637, correct? Somebody answer that for Sandros 54, please. Sandros, nope. AR637T is safe. Take that or leave it. Daryl, you say it's constantly buffering. How's it going, you guys, on the stream? We're going to be wrapping it in 20 minutes anyway. Some of you I'll see in the Zoom sesh. The formation flying was some of the best I've ever seen. Lover, the Horizon flight team with the Red Bull Bipes. Safe select is what you find on an OEM receiver. Man, Daryl, I'm sorry that's happening to you. I've actually had warnings tonight that I really rarely see in my 108 weekends of streams. So I'm just glad we're here right now still, actually. So, last minute questions for Joe. We're going to wrap this thing in like 20 minutes. Captains, we'll see you on the Zoom. Buffering getting worse. Not looking great. It's probably YouTube. I mean, nothing has changed on my end.
No, it's no storm or anything.
Grayson.
Buffering.
Well, you win some, you lose some. Or in my case, you lose some and you lose some more. Mitchell Farley, appreciate that. Well, sorry guys. Hopefully it'll be better for us next weekend. Next weekend's going to be cool. I did see promotion for the new AR630 receiver, but I haven't seen one in my hand. Yeah, next weekend's going to be cool, guys. Myself, RC Air Marshal, and Mary Boozer are doing like a 3-day collab stream deal and we have videos to go along with it. It's going to be cool. There'll be things you haven't seen from us over here too much, but that's what's fun. Surprises. Top Dogs RC, what is up? Joe has no planes yet.
Nope.
Hobby Eagle's not bad. The thing about that, Daryl, is you have to have the room for it because it's an auxiliary piece of equipment. Yeah, AR630 looks cool to me too. What, Brian Scott, Joe, what do you see in your hangar in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question, Brian. If just look around behind us, that would be nice to one day achieve. So
There's a lot of stuff over here, man, that you never know. Might find a home next door. Who knows? Yeah. He's gonna start with a Habu, and then and he's got some boys. So the Habu, I mean, definitely, somebody with potential is gonna do better than somebody doesn't have maybe an attention span.
Yeah,
like cats, dogs, little kids.
Yes.
AR630 is basically a 620 with AS3X and Safe Select. Super tiny with internal antennas. Good for smaller models like 6.4. Cool. Warren, I can't wait to see you fly the new Freewing MiG-29. The only thing I noticed on the Motion RC videos is it seems to fly slower than an 80-90 millimeter jet. I assume because of its size. Yeah, who knows? It ought to rip on the power system it has, and I'm looking forward to flying it as well. And thanks to the channel and you guys who actually use the website and click through, when something cool like that comes to market, we're able to grab it. So thanks for all you guys who click through, members of the channel, all that good stuff. That's how I'm able to do it.
Tim Vanson, Joe, what are you wanting to conquer in training? Definitely, I want to conquer landing. That's kind of my big thing.
Which airplane does Joe want us to send him?
That's a good question.
Look at that's my guy. So look at the Horizon stuff.
Yeah.
Get something with safe, I would say.
Definitely something with safe.
Let me know, dude. We'll do it. We'll get it.
We'll let you know.
Unless you know right now. We'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. You just got to let me film it.
Yeah.
You been shopping? You been looking?
Maybe an F-18.
Shoot. I think that's probably not quite.
Not to my level.
No. It's going to be so... the things happen so much faster on that one. So the Habu compared to 70, 80, or 90 millimeter F-18 is definitely, it's not going to fare as well. It's just heavier, yeah.
Gotcha.
Not quite.
Well, I'll do some looking.
So guys, look, he's cutting his teeth on a Habu, so he's thinking jets. So what would you be doing?
Yeah.
For jets next?
What does everyone else think?
Viper. E-flite Viper, because it's still got the progressive modes. It's 6S. It's going to be a little faster. It's got, no, F-18 too soon. Yeah, no.
Too soon.
Too soon. So, but you don't know these things, unless someone tells you. And really, wing loading is everything. And the thing, too, sport jets are, a lot of times, maybe don't exist in real life. So, they're made to fly well. But scale stuff, the real ones have tons of systems to make them fly well. So, yeah. So things like the F-15, the Viper, 64 millimeter stuff. Boss 223 says some Warbirds. I want to get him some tail dragger time. So, I mean, and I still think there's something to be said for. Obviously, it's been for years and years. That's why it created such cognitive dissonance to think that a jet could be a good first airplane. So I still think there's tremendous benefit in high wing trainers, pusher props, stuff like that. I'd be looking at that Big Scout,
Yeah.
or like the Apprentice, stuff like that,
Be good too.
Dana's RC, pre-order MiG-20. Yeah, for him? Yeah, no. The underappreciated Super Scorpion, but it's just not a good first jet. First big boy jet. You know what I mean?
Viper might be good. Might be the way to go.
Ultra Micro Citation. Joe, Ryan is a good teacher. I watched his technique with my Carbon Cub, and I just did what he suggested, and it built my confidence. So thanks. You're very welcome. Would the one takeaway for the Habu STS be to encourage flaring on landing, as it seems to come in nose down, unlike the Apprentice? I don't think it comes in nose down, unless you're in experience mode.
Yeah, in beginner mode, it does not do that.
Now, I never gave it a chance to chunk in beginner mode because I just know what I want. So I was giving it up stick on the last foot, of descent. And he did too, and he greased it. Now, the landing assist sensor is supposed to do that for you, but if you have a coach who tells you to kind of hold it off there at the end, you're going to get the flare. But the nose is still up. And that's why Joe was finding a little bit of trouble on the simulator in experience mode, because the one thing it doesn't do in experience mode, it's all you, is the nose is coming down, so you've got more speed on the approach than you're used to. Because beginner mode, it holds itself up. It hardly wants to come down. That's why you got to start the approach really early. And don't be too high or you're going to overrun it. You almost, and I knew you were going to be long on that second one, but you listened well and you just stuck with it, and that was sick. I was so glad he greased it. Paul Williams, I wish you the best of luck. Get some foam tack in the cabinet, says Reitza. I'm an RC car pricing, never flown a plane. Are they very hard to fly? Not with the right tools and the right tech. I mean, it's a lot easier to get up in the air. Check out things on the channel. Check out the beginner planes at Horizon Hobby. Check out the Apprentice, the Habu STS. Yeah, dude. George, my personal recommendation for people who are learning to fly and want to go straight into jets: Habu STS, Viper, F-16, or A-10. And that's from the horse's mouth, dude. All the E-Flight ones, of course, through PilotRyanMedia.com. Yeah, you know what? It's so crazy having... Listen, so many of you guys live in neighborhoods or whatever, and there's nobody who around you flies or cares, right? So to have a neighbor who thinks it's cool, wants to do it, wants to learn how to do it, and I can help that to happen is an oddity, rarity, for sure. So, yeah, I think it's great. You are a lucky man, Joe. You are. You guys are nice, and it's cool. And we're gonna, you know what? We're gonna. Hey, the social media experiment is sharing. So I'm gonna share this with y'all. He's willing to let me, and he's a good sport about it. And I think that's just tremendous. And I wish you guys would give us a big round of applause for Joe with emojis. James Porter, I'm a newbie. I want the A-10 Thunderbolt with Safe Select. I'm training myself on the simulator. I'm having no problem taking off and landing. Do you think I'm ready for the outdoors? That's a real tough one for me. You might be. The A-10 is a doll, but is there a way, James, that you can have somebody that has experience also be there with you? Take it off, make sure it's trimmed out right, get it balanced good. You know, a lot of us like our 4000 smart batteries, even our 3200 smart batteries, all the way back on that one. I would recommend high rates, which is the 100% throws on that one. or you may run out of elevator, it feels like, especially if you're nose heavy. I would recommend watching Pilot Ryan Media's videos on the A10. Did a handful of them, and I always talk. As you can see, I have no problem with that. And share what I'm reading from the plane and what I discover works for me to ensure success for myself. So you can take it or leave it. But it's hard for me to say A10 for a guy who's never flown anything. I'm not just trying to sell Haboos, but I would want some stick time on something else, or someone with experience next to you to make sure the plane is dialed in and that they can are there to help you if you need it. Because the minute you take off the beginner or intermediate or any of those modes, you all of a sudden, a lot of times, find out you need to trim the plane, which is going to be nerve-wracking if you're new. And all of a sudden, too, from beginner to intermediate, you take the training wheels off and you can roll that son of a gun over. You can do everything. And usually when you're turning, you're far away from yourself, too slow, inexperienced mode for the first time, and you may spin it in. So are you practicing, James, in experience mode on the simulator? I would like to know. Boozer says, steal that big yellow plane from Ryan. She's a great flyer and it has safe for you to get better with. Yeah, that's why I brought it here today, because we're going to get it all safed up for tomorrow, because I want him to try it tomorrow. Let's see. Holy smokes, I have missed a bunch. There's all the emojis. Ryan, keep up the great work. Joe, hang in there. You're doing very well. Yes, sir, I have a buddy and I watch plenty of videos. Good. Good deal, James. So on the simulator, are you in experience mode? That's what I want to know. Jason agrees. Haboo first or the help of an instructor. Cool. Yep. Pilot Jerry just in from flying some. Nice. Yeah, setting up the safe and AS3X does need some skill, which is why it's so awesome when it just comes on board the aircraft already. Let's see, I want to see what he said. James, yes sir, experience mode. Thanks for the advice. Man, you're very welcome. It's some of my favorite stuff. That's why I'm still here after like starting goofing around with video in 2012. Is because we really are pumped up and excited to see folks find success. And it's not that we're like some major... there's more than one way to get there a lot of times. And I think I've done an okay job, if I don't say so myself, of showing and sharing what works for me in the way that it's not like an absolute one way to get it done. It's a way to get it done, and it may be kind of sound, but, you know, the proof is in the pudding and we're ready to eat, you know. Mm-hmm. I bring a lot of them home safe. So, James, thanks for coming by. I hope you stick around the channel. I hope all you guys are tapping the bell and turning it on and watching the videos, because I think for the discerning eye, there's a lot to be learned from them, at least as a point of reference, not that you have to match it. Michael Wright said, Joe, you're in a great place, better than most. Ryan has the patience of a saint and gets a kick from seeing you fly. Absolutely, man. That's cool. No, but we talked about it, Michael. So, Michael Sherman, who really came up with Hanger Rats all together, by the way. Has Joe watched the peripheral vision video Mike made? I'm not sure he's watched it, but we've talked about it. Because, thank you, James. Because it's really easy for new guys to get what we call, Mike termed, zoom vision, where you're like all up in the plane and you're missing the runway and you're hitting trees and stuff because you're like, you're just so focused on the plane that you don't know where you are in the vein of any kind of situational awareness.
You saw that happen in my first flight too. Or, well, maybe you couldn't tell because the camera was zoomed in, but I was flying over the pits and
Yep, behind us.
not
First
that was
day
even-
already pissing off the, club members. I'm just kidding. But on the second flight, and I let it go long on the first one. I think we were at the end of the battery and everything on the first one. It was kind of my fault. But also because it does take a minute to set up the landing. So on the second flight, we started setting up for that landing and approach probably halfway through the flight. And it probably took us a few times to be ready to land it. And it became time to we got to take what we get. But man, I trust the tech. I trusted the plane. Like I said, I only took it from him one time, and that was when it was just way far away, and it was going to be losing it to orientation. I already knew I didn't care if he bounced it around and stuff like that, and a little crash course, and so cool to have Bobby there to film that and be able to share that with you guys. That's one of my... I've made a lot of videos, and that will always probably be one of my favorites. I thought that was cool. So there's more to come with that, and I think we got his head out of the cockpit, and doing some things with the simulator is going to help that out. Let's see. What's up, Dad? Joseph.
I see that.
You guys spell your name the same, I think.
We do.
Yeah. Ha. Everybody says hi to my pops. Pilot Joe is a legend. Legend. I need his autograph. George, you lost a MiG-29 at Jet Jam? Guys, we are going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. Some of you all see pretty soon. I know you guys are used to the stream going really, really long, but it's really hard on me the next day. And so I'm wanting to tighten up the stream. I don't see the stream going away, but I'm trying to tighten it up a little bit. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I can't do the Kenny deal anymore. Joe, do you have an RC name picked out? You don't get a name yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. James was almost just James. Really close to being just James. But anyway. I love all these beginner tips from you, Ryan, and the rest of the community. I've been flying 5 years now, but I still seem to learn some great tips almost every week. That's cool, Jordan. You know what? Never stop learning. I never stop learning. And it's funny because you think you know until you realize you don't. Enough times that you're like, yeah, I'm just going to stay kind of open. There's things that will surprise you. And that's what's neat about my position. I get to fly stuff that I maybe wouldn't be looking at and always learn something. Or equip myself with information and knowledge that I can impart to someone else who's on their journey and help them. And you guys know what's up. It's all about the qualifying questions. When a beginner comes on here and asks us questions about this plane, that plane, or that, we always, all of you guys are great at this. We're like, okay, what kind of planes have you been flying? What kind of field do you have to fly from? What do you want to fly in the future? Because there are so many choices out there that you can absolutely give tremendous value in a catered answer to lay out a path for someone to get where they want to go. Not just some BS answer all the time. So, pretty neat. So, Pro Joe, says Dad. Michael Reitza says, Joe Mama, RC. You'll have a DXS soon to see for yourself, Marshall. Oh, cool. It sounds like Marshall's getting something. Beginner to teach. And you got to figure out what you want.
That's true.
Boss223 says, don't ever do away with your live chat. It makes my week. Gives me something to look forward to. Dennis Farley says, you think he's always going to be Beginner Joe? Jet Joe. Pilot Ryan, I'm looking into that sweet E-Flite 80mm F-18. I have access to 3 contiguous turf fields and a nice short grass club field. The E-Flite F-18 is awesome, and I'm having Bobby bring out the gray one because I'm into it. I want to fly it some more. Beginner Joe, 101 Pilot. The DXS shows the lights and beeps with smart and not smart batteries. Telemetry capable ESC takes care of it via full pack voltage. Rider X says
voltage.
Big Joe. Inverted Joe coming soon.
I don't know about that.
So we are going to wrap it soon. This is a kind of a new thing. I don't usually cut it so short. Always learning, always learning. Nice. Air Marshal's going to check it out. Dennis Farley, some of you guys, I'll see you soon. We're going to wrap this thing. Guys, check out the channel, check out the videos, subscribe, tap the bell, all that stuff. If you didn't know about Joe and the Habu, go check those videos out right here on the channel. Give it some love in the comment section. Super Joe. Best of luck in the future, Don Willman. And I saw you back in there somewhere. Salutations and greetings to you as well. All you guys. Great to have you. And we'll be doing this again really soon. You know, you got to subscribe and stay tuned because you never know what's going to happen. And sometimes if I've got a hand in the new releases, you're going to see a pop-up stream usually on Thursdays as well. And those usually go down at 8 Eastern Time. So always be staying tuned. I got to go back to these comments that say stuff like, this is the best channel ever. Thank you, Rider X. You guys are so nice. I'm glad that you get something from it. Sometimes I just wonder if I'm getting it done at all. Apparently I am. So thank you for those accolades because it lets me know I'm doing a good job. Just like thumbs ups do and subscribes. You guys are the best. Dana's RC, yeah, you know, we'll see you next week, and who knows, I don't know what the date is this Thursday. I think we're kind of lucky that we even got the stream off today because I've been getting these crazy warnings the whole show. So, you guys let me know next week too, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I really go long every Saturday, and it's hard not to because there'll be 100 dudes in here still, but I just want to value your time. And like I said, I'm trying to tighten the show up a little bit. Believe it or not, I'm not techie. There's things I wanted to do with this show that I've never been able to do. And I don't want to bother the guys that know how to do it for me all the time. Having a guest is fantastic. That's kind of why I originally started the thing. And I haven't done it enough. So I can do it when they're here. But it's hard for me to work it out without having a producer. So I got some things to learn. So hit the thumbs up, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Watch the videos. I'm telling you, 2, 3, or 4 uploads a week easily. Trucks and jets, airplanes, beginner stuff, the whole deal, man. We are doing it. The show can turn into a sleepover. So some of you will see very soon. The rest of you, we'll see you next time. We're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. We'll 3 you later. Too good to be forgotten. Stick a monkey pants. See you next time. Show Joe some love in the comment sections because we're going to do some more with Joe.
See you next time, guys. Thanks for being such a welcoming community.
Good stuff,
Have a great
y'all.
night.
Awesome. Later, peeps. Hey, they want your autograph already, dude.